Guys, this episode, guys, I just got one thing to say. This episode was epic! Okay, so straight up, I have to get this off my chest. Okay, so Jean's semblance is not healing, okay, so that was something that a lot of people were saying, you know, oh, maybe a semblance is super healing. I'm just as guilty of it. I'll admit that. Now we know what a semblance actually is. It's not healing, it's aura, like, aura amplification. And that's pretty much what he does in the Grim Eclipse video game. He amplifies attacks, speed, healing. I mean, dude, they're shoving it in our faces this whole time and didn't even notice. Didn't even notice. That was nice. Hazel's semblance. He can't feel pain. Very awesome. We got a quick Blake versus Adam thing where the entire, like, everyone from Menagerie, which I'm dubbing the True White Fang, versus the Splinter White Fang, which is what I'm going to call Adam's White Fang. They come in, take them out pretty quickly, and Adam gets knocked out. I want to see that mask fall off. I want to see his face. I do. I just want to see his face. Like, the full thing, I want that gone. Because I have this little theory, which I'm betting is completely wrong, but it's just something that, like, popped in my head one day. I'm not going to do a video on it or really talk about it. It's just this little throwaway theory. But it's great to have all of Team Rwby together. And Mercury completely gets owned by Rwby. By the whole headbutt thing that she learned from Oscar/Ozpin. And she just says, oh, I'm willing to do whatever it takes as long as it shuts you up. I'm like, that is cool. Weiss now has a new summon. Not just the Knight. She has the Queen Lancer, and she completely stabbed Hazel through the back, and I don't mean like in the back, I mean through the back. Like it went in his back and came out of his stomach. Yeah, and then of course, my absolute favorite part of the whole episode, Raven versus Cinder. This fight was epic. Two maidens duking it out. We got to see Raven use so many of her different blades. And of course, we got a new song. I was so hyped I couldn't even really hear it. I'm going to have to go back and watch it again. Guys, this episode. This episode. How many times have I said that so far? And of course, the vault is open. And it opens up into this like big super dimension. Now here's the thing. Vernal did not die at the last episode, but she did die in this episode. She stayed alive long enough to get a back shot at Cinder, which gave Raven an opening to completely knock her off the edge, and she froze her as she's going down. Something else. The Grim arm is not capable of being protected by aura because Pyrrha points it out in Volume 1 that Grim don't have aura because they don't have a soul. Man, just so much in this episode. So much in this episode. And of course, now we have Yang down there, and she's about to face off against Raven. I think Yang might get a hold of the relic, but I've been wanting to see Yang fight Raven for a while now, but it's a bit of an unfair fight. Also, Mercury tries to, like, grab Yang and stop her from, like, going down the vault. Of course, she does. She looks like she's about to mess him up. She's got the red eyes starting, but then they change back to her regular purple eyes, and she detaches her arm, leaving Mercury like, what? This episode. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Let me know what you guys saw of this episode in the comment section down below. This episode. I'm in characters as always, people. Have an awesome day. Peace out. Be sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, share this with as many people as you can. I greatly appreciate it. I will catch you all next time.